Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the 5th season kickoff month of the Jake's Take with Jacob Elyachar Podcast. I'm your host, Jacob Elyachar, the chief content producer and writer of jakestake.com, a pop culture entertainment news website. Before we get started, if you're listening to us on audio, please give us a 5-star review and please download this episode and other episodes. If you're watching us on YouTube, please give us a thumbs up. Please subscribe and help feed the algorithm. It is our second episode of 2024, and I'm so excited to welcome my next guest. She is, as of this recording, she has over 3.1 million TikTok followers. Her videos have been liked 111.1 million times. Let me tell you those numbers again. 3.1 million TikTok followers and 111.1 million likes on videos. She's known as the Redhead Latina, so please let me welcome Saia for my podcast. Saia for the podcast.
Hi. Thank you for having me.
Anna, thank you so much for being the second guest of season 5 of the Jake's Take with Jacob Elyachar Podcast. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. I'm so honored to be here.
All righty, Anna. So when did you first get into TikTok?
I started about in late 2021 or I can't really remember, sometime around there. And it kind of happened by accident, just kind of making funny videos as people do sometimes, and sometimes they go viral. And that happened to be my case pretty consistently.
Amazing. So what was the first time? Can you recount your first time going viral?
Yeah, my first time I ever went very viral was when I was imitating my Mexican mom. I wasn't imitating her. I was trying to make her mad. So I made a whole series about pissing off my Hispanic mom, which was playing reggaeton music, pronouncing things wrong in Spanish, a bunch of different things like that. And I got over, I think 3 million views at the time. So I didn't know how that happened. And I was like, oh, okay, this is fun. So we're just going to keep going with it, I guess.
And you've built a wonderful following. Not a lot of people said that there are 7 digits in followers, in TikTok followers. So that's amazing. So could you describe your content process to my audience?
Like how I make my content or how I come up with it?
Absolutely, your content creation process.
Ooh, okay, so whenever I'm thinking about making new videos or stuff like that, I have a whole file in my notes app because it happens when you least expect it, that moment of creativity. So whenever I have just something that reminds me of a situation, or I have something based on real events, I write down in my notes, and then I take time later on, whatever day I'm ready to film, and I just kind of build it from there. I build it from scratch. Most of the time it's not scripted. I just kind of have a topic and then I talk about it and I see where it goes, and then I make adjustments where it's needed.
Believe me, I started TikTok a couple of months ago, and it's it's hard. I love talking about it. At the same time, I realized I go over stuff. I must do some stuff on error, but I still post it because it's better safe than sorry. But thank goodness for the text part of TikTok.
Oh, 100%. I use that as much as I can, to be honest, depending on what I'm doing. Days where I don't feel like going on camera or talking, it's just so easy sometimes to just think of something and then you just post it, and it's still your own piece of work at the same time, just a little bit easier.
I totally agree. So has it gotten easier? A time, for example, it takes me at least 5 to 7 minutes to post something on TikTok.
So eventually, I want to say it gets easier, but honestly, you get those creative downfalls, those stagnant parts in your creative process. So there's definitely sometimes even weeks where I'm like, wow, I feel like I'm drained. I don't have enough content left. I can't, that's always my worry, is I'm going to run out of ideas. But when you're as passionate about what you do as I am, eventually you find ways to get back into that creative part of yourself and understand how these videos really connect with others. And that's kind of what keeps me going.
talk to you about some of your most top pieces of content. So I did some digging and looked on some of your big favorite videos. So I got to say, what I look like on camera versus real life. You posted that back on October 27th of 2023. And as of the recording, it had 1.2 million views.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Sometimes people love my asymmetrical face. I don't know what it is.
And I got to say, I got to go back to you. You brought up you're talking to your mom, making your mom mad. Well, one of the times that you try to make your mom mad is when you were okay. If your mom, I can't believe she's okay with you cursing in Spanish, but draws a line in English. And that happened in November, or a couple of weeks ago in November, that has over 3 million views before we could sit down and talk.
Yeah, no, that one's, I just remember I went to her, I was like, hey mom, I'm gonna show you something, like, can I just have your reaction? She's like, okay. So I just have it playing, and then I see her face, and priceless.
Believe me, like I wish I could swear in like Yiddish or something like that, but unfortunately, I do not want to swear to my folks because otherwise I'd be written out of the will.
Well, I mean, it's just so funny because in my family, like at least on her side, we curse all the time, especially in Spanish. So it's just whenever you say something in English, it's just for some reason or another, that's when they draw the line. I'm like, okay, I guess.
Now, I want to flash back to October 10th, 2023, because you went inside the mind of a no Sabo kid. So can you, for my audience who's unfamiliar with the no Sabo, could you explain it to them, please?
So no Sabo kids are basically kids like me who are either mixed or they have parents that are from different countries in Latin America, but they were raised in the United States. And oftentimes what happens is those kids don't pick up the language as much as like their parents did because they don't speak it all the time at home. So what ends up happening is you can understand a good majority of it, but when you try to speak it, it's very broken. So the phrase no sabo, it's the wrong phrase in Spanish, saying I don't know. So the correct phrase is no sé, but somebody who wouldn't know that says no sabo. So the term kind of goes into it of itself for people like me, but I try to use it as like a positive connotation now. So that way people kind of are encouraged to practice Spanish because God knows I wasn't. And I really struggled because of that phrase sometimes. So I'm trying to give more positive outlook for those no sabo kids like me.
And not to mention, it reached 8 million. It was viewed 8 million times.
Yeah. So that one made me really happy. When I did that, I was very proud. I was very proud for myself and for everyone else.
And that's great. Mi español es muy pequeño. Pero soy de, a mí me gusta bailar y cantar. Hola, me llamo Jacobo, soy de Elyachar, Kansas.
Pues así hablo también. That's how I speak too sometimes.
I agree. And it's amazing. I'm trying my best to get, I have up to college Spanish, so a little bit of college Spanish. So that's, I'm like so grateful I was able to get in it. But the only thing that the only thing I can memorize in other languages are prayers in Hebrew, and that's basically it.
Oh, I hear that. I knew the prayer in Spanish before I knew it in English. It's like little things like that. I'm like, oh, that's not normal. When I heard it in English for the first time, I was like, oh, like it clicked for some reason.
Absolutely. So the last video I want to talk to you about is probably one of your largest interviews. Is basically you challenge your mom to make her salsa and spicier, and then back in May 2023, and she got you, and your reaction to that spicy salsa was 31.5 million views.
Yeah, that was funny. That whole process of how that happened, I was just one day thinking to myself, let's test the waters, because my mom's salsa is very spicy. She knows it. We all know it. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna be that kid right now. I'm gonna play into it. So I just asked her to react like how I normally do, and Yeah, so we just again, it's very I make it so it's very natural, it's very authentic as possible. So what you see, it's yeah, that's that's how she reacts.
And be lucky to not add ghost pepper to it.
Oh God. I'm so curious what she would do. I want to put her on Hot Ones one day and give him a run for his money because I guarantee you she'd be a champ.
Oh, I paid money to see that one because I don't think the host would need a lot of milk, almond milk, and anything in between.
Some ice cream. I don't care. For me, I'd be probably tapped out by the fifth.
I'd be tapped out by the habanero.
I love
Because
habanero actually.
Salsas are like my favorite. I can handle mild, I can handle hot, but I cannot handle anything above habanero. All
Ooh,
righty,
you're
so
missing
let's
out, my.
talk. I know I need to miss out. I need to have better genes and also better taste buds.
Nah, you're fine.
All righty, so let's talk. Like I know you stated earlier about like how you can be a little bit drained and also try to find content. But what have been some of the other challenges that you face staying ahead on social media, and how did you overcome those obstacles?
I think for a little while, I was very into the whole, hate comments and everything that people would be just criticizing me for every little thing. So whether it was my appearance, the fact that I'm too white, the fact that I can't be Hispanic because was raised in the United States. I think there was a lot of mental things that I had to go through to understand, like, no, this is, I know who I am at the end of the day. I don't need to prove that to anybody. And I think learning that aspect of myself was probably the most influential part to creating better and more substantial content for my audience too, because I got tired of trying to prove it, because I knew no matter what I say, no matter what I do, people will always assume that I'm not, and that's okay. They can assume what they want. This is who I am, this is how I was raised, this is my family, this is my culture. I chose to be very in touch with my culture because I have a sister who isn't very in touch with it, but that's her choice. And my choice is I didn't want to lose that part. I'm so close with all of my family on that side, and they're all I really have, to be honest. So to me, it's the most important thing in the world.
I totally agree. Do not listen to the haters. It's like basically what it always reminds me of is the 5% people that we listen to that hate us, that we cannot please, ever, never please. But like with 95%, we always have who have our backs. We need to listen to them more.
Exactly. It's that, even if that small percentage, it's just they can make you just crumble sometimes. But remember, they're the ones that are going to try to do that. They're trying to make you feel that way. Don't let them do it. And it's it's all mental game.
And speaking of social media, you could also block them.
Yes. Or what I do sometimes when their comments are just so outrageous and terrible, and then my followers are fighting them, I just delete it. I'm like, this has gone too far. Y'all don't need a beef online like this. This is insane.
And besides, we have only one life to live, and we have one opportunity on this planet. So it's better for us to get along. And like, if we have disagreement, but if you want to try to have, it's like, what happened to if you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all.
I know people just got so much into their opinions and stuff, and like, oh, I can say this online all I want. No one's gonna yell at me in person. Like, thanks. Great.
And the thing is, we're not like people like you can do this like a Perez Hilton, a Wendy Williams, or Andy Cohen. We don't like, the thing is, it's like they do their job to do that, but however, we can't, because who knows? Though some of our comments can come out and bite us in the butt.
Yep, absolutely. Always got to be careful. And I truly believe in killing with kindness, because at the end of the day, no one's going to, hurt you for being kind and just more empathetic, I think.
Absolutely. And as we are at beginning 2024, we need more empathy and more kindness in this world, because 2023 was a dark one.
Absolutely. I 100% agree. I think that's what people are lacking in this world is empathy.
Absolutely, absolutely. So let's get back on the bright side of things. Have you thought about like anybody on the platform that you want to collaborate, and how would they enhance both that collaboration enhance both of your audiences?
I mean, okay, grand scale, like my biggest dream collaboration, to be honest, is to collaborate with Selena Gomez. She's been one of my biggest inspirations, to be honest with you. Just not even for the fact, she is also a Latina who is no Sabo like me, but I also think that everything that she stands for is it's very rare to see in people like her. So I would love to do something like that and maybe do more about learning and wanting to learn Spanish, because she released a Spanish album and did all these other amazing, beautiful things for charities and all these amazing people. So I think grand scheme, oh, that'd be the best. That'd be the absolute best for me. But I mean, I just haven't really gone out there enough to see what other creators are like because I do live in Las Vegas. There's not a big handful of creators I can just reach out and we can go do something. It's a little more difficult for me and I don't know a lot of people. And the ones that I do know, they're not the nicest. It can be it's a struggle sometimes to understand that level between, oh, you're a really nice person, or oh, you're just putting on a face online, So eventually we'll get there, but for now, I'm putting out there everything with Selena Gomez because I mean, to me, that's my inspiration. If I could do anything with anybody, it'd be her.
And I hope the universe heard that.
Please.
Alrighty, so many people, as you know, that there's a lot of stories are being around that a lot of people that are currently in school right now, that are in the kindergarten to 12th grade, they want to be someone like a TikToker or something like that. And both of us know that it's one in a rarity that happens. But however, if they want to have moderate success on TikTok, what advice would you share with them?
My biggest advice is to just be authentic. Everybody in this world is unique. No matter how little of yourself you think you are, there is something about you that makes you an amazing human being, And I feel like if you find something that you're passionate about, or you share something that you love, your art, your music, gaming, it doesn't matter. If you are passionate about something, more people will gravitate towards that passion. So in my case, I let the world see what not everybody else sees when they first meet me. So to me, that was kind of what helped me grow and helped me get to where I am. But for other people, it might be something completely different. So I think just being the most authentic and the most real that you can be, because a lot of it is fake. If you are going into the industry, into the TikTok social media realm, stay authentic. Don't do the contortion of your face with like editing apps and stuff like that. That's not real. You want to have a strong foundation to build upon that. From the beginning, I said I wasn't a natural redhead. Could you imagine if I had told my audience, oh, I'm a natural redhead, actually? Like the amount of hate, of just terrible, stuff I would get on it. It's all about being transparent, being authentic, and again, shielding what you want, showing what you want the world to see. That's also very important.
I gotta say, that is a wonderful piece of advice. And if anyone has authenticity on their goals for 2024, let's go back and listen to what Anna said, because that is really good piece of advice.
Thank you. I'll try.
All righty, Anna, we got to start winding down our interview. If you had the opportunity to, where can they connect besides TikTok with you and they want to follow your journey?
If you want to follow my journey, you can follow me also at Anna with 2A's Saia with 2A's at the end on Instagram, and Saia and Anna on YouTube, where you can follow me on my vlogs and shorts and all that fun stuff.
Awesome, Anna. So guys, did you miss an episode of the Jake's Take with Jacob Elyachar Podcast? Visit our channels on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Podchaser, Spotify, and Spreaker. Jake's Take with Jacob Elyachar, JACOB Now, are you on social media? Because I'm on social media too. Facebook, Instagram, Threads, TikTok, and YouTube. Jacob Elyachar, JACOB And don't forget to follow the blog that started it all, jakes-shake.com. If you want my take, you can find more of my interviews, my take on new music, and not to mention my recap on the past season of Masked Singer and currently what's going on with America's Got Talent Fantasy League. And thank you so much for starting the year off with me. I really appreciate it. I cannot wait to see what 2024 brings for you.
Thank you so much for having me, Jacob. It's been a huge pleasure.
Thank you too, Anna. And guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. Until next time, have a great one, everybody. Goodbye.